Hi, well, welcome to Point Blank with Professor Nebulous again. Today is a show like no other because I'm not really happy today. For those who saw me earlier today will know that today is supposed to be um, a different day, a day of happiness for me because today is my wife's birthday. And oh yeah, today, yeah, it's today. But unfortunately, I'm not very happy because of the trend I see in Nigeria right now. Okay, I see a generation that villainize their hero and, it kind of eulogize their villain. When I saw individuals vilifying Professor Soyinka for saying one or two things, I was very sad indeed. And here was a man who, in the 1960s, had been in the vanguard of good governance in Nigeria. He single-handedly and he stormed the Western House, television or radio house, and suspended activities there. They were going to announce falsified result, but he took that away and announced the authentic result. Yeah. He left that situation unhurt. But the situation that got him in trouble, that got him into jail ultimately, was the fact that he went to the East during the war to solidarize with Ojukwu. He went there to support and to solidarize with Ojukwu. Then when the head of state, General Gowon, got wind of that, he said, well, since the young man has energy to burn, so he will go to prison to spend the energy. That was how the man was jailed for 22 months. He stayed in jail because he was solidarizing with Odumego Ojukwu. He supported Biafra, obviously. The irony of it is the fact that it's those who are supposed to understand better. The descendants and those whom Ojukwu fought for. These are the same people vilifying the same Wole Soyinka today because he said what Ahmed Dati, the vice presidential candidate of Labour Party, said on air was capable of setting the country on fire. That has been his sin so far. Well, inasmuch as we will say those who are vilifying him, they are bereft of the sense of history, because there is no history in the curriculum of our school today. That's why many of our youth today do not even know history. They don't know what has happened. They don't know who their heroes were. They don't know who the villains are. So that is the problem right now. And that is why they crucify those they're supposed to eulogize and praise. But at the same time, we should pause a little to say, why didn't Wole Soyinka, that revered Nobel laureate, criticize MC Oluomo for all the things he did, for how he was, busy, trying to segregate and saying all sorts of things, that this belong here, this did not belong here, and all that. Even though we can say that MC Oluomo is not lettered, some of these things we can say that because he is uneducated, but at the same time, what is source for goods is also source for the gander. So if we are talking about a country with law, so the law should be able to take its course on anybody who is inflaming or fanning the embers of crisis in the land. There should be no sacred cow in this sense. So if MC Oluomo is doing all these things, for instance, the long hand of the law should catch up with him. Then the Minister of Information, Alhaji Lai Mohammed, coming to do the work of a spin doctor, laundering the image of government, telling all kind of lies. I mean, come on. Even the blind knew what happened. So we should be able to call a spade, okay? It is true that the cases are in court. We should be cautioned so that we don't inflame what is already bad here, what is already bad. And so we should allow the law to take its course and do not preempt whatever is in court right now. But at the same time, we should give honor to whom honor is due. Wole Soyinka is not a Mr. Who. He's not just a nobody that anybody can just talk anything about. He's a human being. He's not infallible. And so if he said all those things, I don't think all these intellectual pugilism that we now see writing letters to the United Nations or United States of America that Nigeria should be dead. Nigeria. Come on, come on. It doesn't call for that. Because even the country you go to, that they should sanction Nigeria, they should not approve this for Nigeria, they have their internal problem. They have their domestic problem, which they have not been able to resolve. We all know this. And so some of us are even of the opinion that they don't even have any moral ground to teach us democracy because of what is happening in their land too, which they have not been able to resolve. Okay? So all these warriors should see their sword, because the cases are in court. We should be patient to allow the rule of law to take its course. And also, I want to say that history should be made mandatory in our school curriculum. Because right now, if you ask graduates of art, graduates of humanities, some of them, who was the first president of Nigeria, they don't know him. What year did Nigeria become republic? They don't even know. That's how poor some of our students are today. So this is because history has been removed from our curriculum. No thanks to the military administration of which President Obasanjo was a chief. So that's about that. Then my next issue of concern is the Igbo people. They should not be made scapegoat this time around. They should not be treated as the Germans were treated after the First World War. You recall, the First World War, especially the Treaty of Versailles, that treated Germany so shabbily, so badly, and they imposed the war guilt on them. They pay reparation. The army was decimated. Their economy battered, and all. Generally, they lost their overseas possession and all that. It was the anger that arose from that evil judgment of 1919 that made Hitler to declare the Second World War. We should not forget that. So the Igbos are not war criminals. They should not be made to bear the brunt of what is happening in Nigeria. So if they say they need self-determination, if you cannot run an all-inclusive government, if they say they need self-determination, come on, for God's sake, grant them the self-determination. After all, you cannot beat a child and forbid him from crying. Okay? So this is one of the things that Wole Soyinka is even asking the new government to do, that of a necessity, the new government must enforce true federalism or devolution of power to every component, so that there will be autonomy for people to actually harness their resources. That's exactly what the Igbo people are crying for. That's what so many self-determination groups are asking for, that there should be a true federalism. If there had been true federalism all this while, all the agitation, all this marginalization that people are crying would not have been there. So I urge the government to run an inclusive government, all-encompassing government, to make sure that everybody who is carried along. No longer should we have a government that will be telling the people, I know those who voted for me, I know those who did not vote for me. Once you are the president, you become the father of all. So you should treat everybody like children. And so what is good for what is source for the goods is also source for the gander. Everybody should enjoy dividend of democracy under you. Otherwise, let this self-determination take its full course and let everybody go his own way. So if that is what will be all right for everybody, so let it be. So that is my take today. It's so unfortunate that I have to bring it just the way it is, without any protocol like the usual protocol we observe in this program, because it's still very hot. So we need to send it out there. So until I come your way again next time, please stay peaceful, because we cannot achieve anything by violence. Thank you very much. I remain your Professor Nebulous. God bless you. Till we meet again. Stay peaceful. God bless.